Oh, are you recording? Yeah, it's recording now. Alright, so I am talking at a normal volume without projecting. So this is the Dex build that is actually a poison build. It's a Mytha cosplay.
I think you should use your funny voice.
My what voice?
Your funny voice.
My funny voice. Alright, what is my funny voice?
When you're making, when you're being facetious, when you are being, right now I feel like you're being very analytical.
Yeah, I got a hunch. Let's see, what would be a good voice to use
so
here?
I think that, you know how the voice when you're telling me a story and you're trying to make me feel like it's real, but you still sound like you're making a joke.
All right, let's just try an exercise here. I'm gonna tell a joke real quick. You know, what did the man say to the blonde? You know, what did the man say to the blonde? Come on.
I don't know.
Me neither. I didn't have a joke.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, blonde jokes are just white racism, you know, disguised as blind jokes. So I didn't really have something.
See that voice?
Okay,
that
so,
voice right there.
So all right, so this voice right here.
That's
no, not that voice. All right, the voice where I'm joking around.
Exactly.
You know, it's hard to do that unnaturally though. Am I doing it right now? I feel like I'm doing it right now.
You a little bit.
Okay, let's listen back to this. Stop. Okay, we are going to keep that all in. As we discovered, I do much better with commentary when I am talking with my wife, you know, just be able to bounce off somebody. I did a lot of takes after that, and none of them were very good, so we are going to keep the clip of literally my first time using the microphone after some testing. So
This is the build.
Yep, this is the build. This is the poison build. It's actually a dex build. It uses a secret stat, Deadly Poison, which only is used by 3 weapons in the game. The Poison Fist weapons, I forget what they're called, Poison Fang or something. And then there's the Serpentbone Blade and the Tooth Whip.
You know, you'd figure it out that after the 3rd time of this take, you would have looked for that name.
Yeah, you figured I would have looked up. I think it is called Deadly Fang, I think is the weapon. But it doesn't matter. We're not using that weapon in this video. We are using Tooth Whip and Serpentbone Blade. They're both dex weapons, and they both use the Deadly Poison stat. Deadly Poison, it's, unlike regular poison, it ticks twice as fast and is over in half the time, which is beneficial because if they cure the poison, you know, more of their HP was depleted before they were cured, but more importantly, if they're going to be finished off by it, you know, you want them finished off quicker, so it can take that last little bit of HP before they die a lot better than poison, the regular poison can. Regular poison really is just a minor inconvenience. And to have a traditional poison build, you know, with the regular poison using the poison-infused weapons, you have to use Arcane. And if you're going to use Arcane, you're going to want to just use spells, you know, use the Dragon Communion Seal, or you're going to want to use poison build, which is one of the most broken builds in the game. I did a video on that already. It's actually my favorite build, is a bleed Arcane build. But you have so many options with Arcane than you do with poison. Okay, this is actually a cosplay build from Dark Souls 2. I actually do not like Dark Souls 2. I think it's by far the worst in the series. I actually think, like every other FromSoft Souls-like game, Dark Souls 2 is actually the only bad game among them.
Why is it bad?
It didn't have Miyazaki as the director.
That's it?
I mean, apparently he was very important. Before Dark Souls 2, I would have expected a director not to be as important as they were. But I think it was also like the B team. Like it wasn't a lot of the same people that did Dark Souls 1. But yeah, it just feels like a bad game. It feels, if it wasn't called Dark Souls 2, you would think it was just a Souls game made by like somebody completely
out of touch.
Well, it's someone not from Software. Like they've had Souls-like games like Copycats. I don't know if they're any good. I've never played any of them, but that's what it felt like to me. It just felt like a game that wasn't from Soft. So this is actually from that though, just because I was able to do. I was just I like to do my fashion. I like fashion is important to me in these games. I like to look cute while I'm
Likes to look pretty.
I like to look pretty. Yes, I like to look pretty. And I was able to do like a lot of. Damn, you hit me with a big spell there. I like to. When I made this fashion, there was a lot of serpent motif, with the little serpents on the Serpentbone blade, as well as the serpents on the, I forget what you call it, like the champion's garb there, the set that I'm wearing, other than the pot. So I just was like, oh, there's actually like a Medusa lady in Dark Souls 2 that was actually one of the few good bosses. I actually liked her when you took the poison away and like the windmill level, and she was headless, so I just stuck the pot on her head, and I don't think anybody got the reference. Probably there probably wasn't a single person that knew it, but there actually are some Dark Souls 2 fans, so maybe somebody got it. Serpentbone blade, really good if you like the Uchi Katana. This is basically just a better version of the Uchi Katana. If one, you're gonna use it for dex, because this weapon can't be infused. So you're gonna have to stick with dex. And two, the deal breaker for a lot of people is you have to, because it can't be infused, you can't change the Ash of War. Has to be double slash. And double slash is pretty good on katanas. There's definitely ones that are better. I like Piercing Fang, Impaling Thrust. What do you call that? Well, the one where you like sheath it. Sheath, I think it's called, actually. Those are all better, but double slash is perfectly serviceable. And the deadly poison is just a better stat than bleed on a katana, because honestly, with bleed, without an arcane build on a katana, really it's just good if you're like constantly chasing down an opponent, constantly hitting them, and they're healing, and in those situations you're probably gonna win anyway.
So this is for the cowards, for the ones that run.
Yeah, well, yeah,
okay.
Bleed's good for like the cowards, but deadly poison is good even if they haven't healed, because like it will actually like build up quicker. It's actually got more deadly build poison. Deadly build up. Deadly poison buildup than Uchi Katana has bleed buildup, so you'll actually proc deadly poison faster than you would bleed on an Uchi Katana. So the Serpentbone blade is also longer than the Uchi Katana, the dex, well, the Uchi Katana in general. I think it's actually one of the longest katanas in the game. So if you're using an Uchi Katana with dex, I would strongly suggest just using Serpentbone blade instead. You can just throw it on there. You don't need to change your build at all. You can just, instead of using the keen Uchi Katana, you can just use the Serpentbone blade.
This is the one that literally has the serpent bones on the blade, right? Like it's the really detailed one.
Yeah, it looks really, really fucking cool. Yeah, it's got like the little serpents on the hilts. It's got like a green tint to show like the poison on it.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I really liked, one of the things I like most about this game is like the level of detail in its like fashion and items and stuff. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, this is my wife's first Souls game. We haven't actually beat it yet, but we've gotten a big way through. We're doing like a whole co-op run. Eventually, I'll put like the highlights to that on this channel. She is pretty
good.
No, she is good. She is good for her first Souls game. She is doing pretty great. She actually has won a lot of solo PvP matches. I remember my first PvPs, fucking 12 years ago. I think Demon Souls was my first PvP experience, but I didn't really start to do the PvP till Dark Souls. And man, did I lose a lot. I actually remember my first ever gang spank. For those who don't know, it's basically what I'm doing for most of the invasions in this video is beating multiple opponents. It wasn't even that impressive. I had a miracle build, and for those of you who remember Dark Souls 1, Wrath of Gods was absolutely broken. You could just, with not even that much investment into faith, you know, you have 30 faith, you didn't need to pump it up to like 60 or 99. You could just go in and on a super quick attack just do a massive explosion. And I remember my first 3v1 kill was playing as just a miracle build, sprinting between 3 people who didn't even see me yet, and just spammed Wrath of the Gods. And, you know, that was probably like 12, 13 years ago. And I still remember that PvP win. Should probably start talking about the stuff we're seeing in the video. You know, I like fighting with these chariots in PvP. If you don't know, Raptor of the Mist, you can just press that right before the chariot hits you. It's not hard to do. Like, it's hard enough to where you'll miss it.
Yes, it is. It is hard. I died like 1,000 times on that. It is hard. Don't listen to him. He's very skilled, so he thinks that it's easy. It is not. I remember he would get frustrated with me because I couldn't time it just right, and I kept on getting killed. And the fact that you have to turn the camera around and like run in the opposite direction, like I could not do that, and I kept on falling. So no, it is hard, but with practice you can do it. I know that I did get to a point where I could kind of do it and not immediately die, so that was pretty great.
Yeah, it is. Okay. It is a little tricky because you do, like, especially if you're not doing PvP, you kind of have to like whip the camera around. You can do it on sound cues too, but it's not as hard to learn as like parrying. I know parrying took me many years. I didn't think I started parrying till Dark Souls 3 after like getting like hundreds of hours into it. I didn't really start to get good at parrying. But this is relatively easy. Just go to a random catacomb with a chariot and just try it a few times. You'll get the timing pretty good. It's pretty forgiving, and it's super fun to do in both PvE and PvP. As you can see in this clip, there's a lot of it. Just really fun to just whip out that Raptor of the Mist, and you know, either they expect it or they start doing it too, and either way is fun. You know, just doing that sick ass, you know, feathery jump in the middle of a chariot is fucking awesome. So this is my first ever commentary, as you can tell. So I actually have a lot of backlog in my PS5, like a lot of saved clips. It wasn't until Elden Ring that I just started saving clips. You know, I just started doing them one day, and soon I started to run out of storage. So I was like, damn, I can just throw these up on YouTube. Save some storage, but then just kind of, oh, that was a nice parry. Look at that. I love ending an invasion with a parry. And a wave to him. The somewhat disrespect. It's not as disrespectful as a point down, but the little wave is like, you know, I'm trying to hide casually that I'm a little mad. You know, I don't want you to know that, so I'm gonna give you a wave, like, you know, like it wasn't nothing. But, you know, I got a little salty. That, you know, you can tell when I'm a little salty if I don't do a bow. If I do a wave, I'm a little salty and trying to hide it. If I do a point down, I am mad at you and want you to know that you suck.
You know, it's funny because I remember trying to do the different moves, but my fingers are not fast enough.
The gesture.
So, like, I couldn't get the gestures, I couldn't get the menu up, so teabagging was, like, kind of, like, my go-to, and I really enjoyed it. And then I remember when you were like, why are you being disrespectful? Like, that was an honorable, like, fight. And I was like, well, this is all I can do right now. So I kind of went with it. I really enjoyed it. I still do, actually. Even, like, monsters and stuff, I love to teabag them, even if it was an honorable fight.
So, that's good to know, that if you ever get teabagged, maybe the person just isn't quick enough to do the gestures and just wants you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are noobs over here.
want you to just stand. They just want to do something.
Parkour noob.
Parkour pro. That's what we always say when we do parkour in this game. So that's the one thing that she cannot get down. She's learned the fighting, she's learned the healing, she's learned the spells. Something that she cannot do is the parkour, which, you know, she's not as experienced in games as I am, so...
Well, not this type of game, because I can do, like, 4X games, and I can do, like, more puzzle games. Like, you know that Myst is one of my favorite, like, games, but, like, this, like, I can't do it. I am not spatially aware enough to be able to jump and jump long enough or short enough to get to the next platform that I have to do, especially if it's tiny, and yeah, it sucks. You know those elevator ones I really hated? The elevators in the mines that have that, like, all of the parkour that you go into, like,
oh, that's
secret.
one of the hardest to do in the game, actually.
I hate those, and you do them so freaking, like, just easily. Like, I hate it. So yeah, at some point I would just wait upstairs until he got everything and just, you know, and just as a girl, you know, picking up stuff. Yay! That's my favorite part.
You know, it's something to, like, consider, because, like, parkour skills really translate over from other video games. So, you know, it's something to consider as, like, a game developer. Maybe don't assume that everybody has played other games with parkour elements, because they kind of increase the difficulty, expecting you to have some level of parkour skills. Oh, I just put this clip in because I just love the anime finish there with all of us finishing off the boss, even though I don't think I hit him at all, but it looked like I did. Oh, if I remember this clip, this is a long one. I don't know if I get salty at the end. We'll have to see what gesture I use. You know, if I use the wave or the point down, I was salty. One of my favorite things to do in this game, boom, right there. I love Carian Retaliation. It's not even that great in after mid-level. You know, obviously here we're more late game. I think this is a level. Ooh, I don't even know. This is either a level 85, but it looks more like a level 100 plus build. But yeah, even at 85, Carian Retaliation, they nerfed it because it used to be way too strong. But it's just so fun to do. Again, it's not as hard to do as regular parries. I would strongly suggest Carian Retaliation. But even if you don't use it for the spells, Carian Retaliation is actually better than the regular parry. It has more parry frames. So even if you don't plan on parrying every spells, if you use parry, make sure you're using Carian Retaliation. It doesn't use any MP if you aren't parrying a spell. If you hit a regular parry, just a physical attack parry, it won't use any MP, so you just get free extra parry frames. So great little tip there. Don't stick with the regular parry. If you have access to Carian Retaliation, definitely put that on the shield. So like what I was talking about, the parkour. Maybe as, like, game developers, maybe they should, like, consider that, because, you know, it's a little unfair to put some parkouring in a game if you have, like, this massive difficulty spike because you already expect you know, the players to have played other games that have parkour elements, you know, platforming element. We're calling it parkour because of that dumb Minecraft parkour civilization video. Neither of us are interested in Minecraft. We watched, I think it was an internet historian video where he mentioned it, and it was just a whole movie of parkour civilization.
Movies.
2 movies. Well, we've only seen the first one.
But it's still 2 movies. 2 movies of just, you know, parkour and, like, calling each other either parkour noobs or parkour pros. And God, did you have a good time calling me a parkour noob for the entirety of that movie.
Every time she fell in Elden Ring, which was a lot, because like I said, you know, it's a little unfair that they put parkour elements in their. Oh, missed the parry there. There it is. Yeah, but you know, we just kept calling her a parkour double parry. That's why the clip's there. Oh, you didn't see the ending there. Well, that's the end of the video. Goodbye.